All right, thank you for sitting down with me. State your name, please.
Coach Todd Eubanks.
All right. How long have you been coaching?
This will be my 21st year as a head coach and my 22nd overall coaching in Georgia.
Where'd you start out?
I actually started out as a community coach in South Carolina. I was finished up at the University of South Carolina. I coached at public school in Columbia, South Carolina, at AC Florida High School. I spent 2 years there while I was finishing up my degree. And from there, I went and coached college football for 2 years at Tuscan College. I had missed high school baseball enough that I was fortunate enough that our quarterbacks, his father was Rodney Walker, who was a legend in Georgia with Georgia High School Association. And he went to Peach County and he hired me on to coach football and to be his head baseball coach, and that started in Georgia.
You say you've been coaching or been a head coach for 21 years. Where would you say was your favorite place you've been so far?
Every place is different. I mean, what I've done as a coach is careers. I've gone into places that have been down to luck and have not won recently or have never won. And I've been fortunate enough that I've been now in 6 different places, and I've taken all 6 places to playoffs after having never been to playoffs or having not been to playoffs in a while. I have to say right now the experience we're having here at Bowden has been very fun, enjoyable time. Bowden, the history of Bowden High School, they've only had 3 losing seasons in the history of the school, and the year before they hired me, they had 2 years of back-to-back losing records, and now here we are in the 4th year, and we're 19-0 and ranked #1 in the state. So I have to say the experience we're having right now has been pretty fun.
With you being 21 years in the game here, what would you say the difference with your experiences now rather than whenever you first began?
Well, the coaching is all like parenting. When you get older, sometimes you realize that you make some mistakes as you go along. I can't say I was fortunate or whether it was luck or what it was, but I've only been assistant coach one time for 1 season in my life, and with it, I made a lot of mistakes. I went into it early on and didn't necessarily know the interpersonal relationships between the coach and the player. I believe I had to prove that I was in charge, and whereas now that I'm older and there, and the experience factor of being there, of knowing what kids you have to be tougher on, and what kids you have to have a light touch with. That part of management skills is something that you have to learn, and at the same time, when looking at the generational change, the players today, they do not go out and play the game as much as the kids did 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you used to have players who would go out and play baseball in the parking lots and in the fields and everything. They'd play the game. Now you've got kids that are either travel ball kids or the kids that are just out here for being with their friends. A lot of video games. Kids play video games. We have to do a lot more teaching now of skill than we did when I first started coaching. And with that, you got a lot more parent involvement. Everybody can watch the Atlanta Braves play on TV, and so because of that, you got more and more parents who believe they know more about the game than you do as a coach. And so for that reason, you have to deal with the fact that you got to coach your players, and sometimes you have to coach your parents, and when it all comes together, that's a good experience to have.
Okay. What would you say is your most memorable experience as far as coaching wise?
Yeah, I've had so many. Going through the years, I've been fortunate that in all my years of coaching, I've had one season, had a losing record in 1 season of it. And that year we started a bunch of sophomore kids in a varsity schedule, and they struggled mightily, but they turned it around, and we went 3-20. 3-20. The next year we were able to make state playoffs, so the school had never experienced state playoffs. So that was a great experience. We were able to turn that around. Probably one of the funnest experiences I ever had was actually when I was coaching college football. We started a college football program from scratch. We went out and did everything. We built the field. We did everything. We bought uniforms. We did everything from the very beginning. And with that, we were in a conference, so it's a very strong conference, and the national champion was from our conference. In our 2nd year, we were playing them after they had just won the national championship, and we beat them in our second year. So that experience there was nice. You know, different places, different things. You know, being my experience, I was in Heard County. When we're down there, you know, we started out down there, and we were able to take a program that had not won in 15 years when I got there. And then we were able to build the respect around the state to where we were ranked #1 in the state our third year for many weeks, and that's from different people looking at us and, you know, just respecting the program that we built there. And then, you know, we've done the same thing here. You know, we've taken my first year here, Coach Jeremiah Yates was with me, and, you know, we went out there our first year, and we had 17 kids in the program. And with that, we actually had to steal a middle school kid to be able to compete in the summer, just to have enough kids. And now here it is, you know, 4 years later, and you know, we've got a program that's the envy of a lot of places. And, you know, and with it, you know, that's the fun part of it. That's the fun. You know, the hours we put in are astronomical. You know, you're never going to get paid enough money for the hours that you put in. But, you know, the benefit of it is to be able to turn those things around, to be able to see it, see the community support and everything come along. So, I mean, those are the memorable experiences that I enjoy as a coach. You know, the wins and losses, you know, my wife keeps track of that for me. You know, she'll remind me every now and then, you know, hey, you got so many wins, blah, blah, blah. And that's nice for them. It's nice for the kids. But, you know, in all honesty, to me, the fun part is having the respect of the peers, of the people that coach within the state and then even nationwide is nice.
I know for me personally, with baseball and school and things like that, I stay very consumed. My time stays very consumed. And I stay very busy. What would you say motivates you on a daily basis?
I like I just said the same thing there. You know, I mean, as for me, I mean, I've been doing, you know, I'm 46 years old. I've been going to school, you know, since I was 5 years old. And for me, I wouldn't know what it's like not to get up in the morning at 6:30 in the morning, get up, eat breakfast, and either get on the school bus or drive in school and be at school all day long and get a baseball, football, or basketball practice at school and be a part of that. So, I mean, this has been my life, all my life. And, you know, so for me, it's to be able to continue to do that is nice. You know, that I don't know anything else in life. You know, I'm very fortunate that, you know, my wife, you know, she allows me to do this. You know, she does a great job of being able to get the kids where they need to get to. I have 4 children, and you know, with that, we get them where they need to get to, and then I'm able to spend time with them and be able to spend, you know, time here also doing what I love to do. But with it, you know, the time spent and the hours spent, or, you know, everything's different. You know, we'll get gratitude out of watching the grass turn green out there and be able to stripe it and make it look nice. You know, we want to have good-looking uniforms. We want to have people come around and be able to, you know, we talk about respect is earned. Our program, everywhere I've ever been, is taught respect is earned because, you know, people, bottom line is you want to be respected. And people are only going to respect you when they realize that, you know, the product that you put out and the things that you do, you do it as consistent as a leader. And with that, you know, it's nice when people finally come on board and realize that, you know, you're there for the right reasons and they want to be a part of what you do.
Okay, my last question would be, what would be your biggest advice to me, being a young coach?
Learn all you can. Be a sponge. You know what I mean? I've been fortunate that I've worked with some very good coaches, and I've worked with some very bad coaches. And with that, even the ones that I consider to be bad coaches, I'll be able to take from them and either be able to say I'm never doing that as a coach, or be able to say, you know, that there's some good qualities in that. You know, I've been fortunate. I've worked for guys that were great at fundraising and learned how to do that part of the game. And I've worked with guys that were great field maintenance guys and be able to follow their advice and know how to do that. I've been fortunate enough to work with guys that are great X's and O's kind of guys. And then you've also got the guys that are able to, you know, motivate and work with kids and have interpersonal relationships because, you know, bottom line, it's more than just balls and strikes and outs. You know, it's a total thing. You know, you come to our place here, you see our ball games. You know, we put on a show. We're like a minor league ball game. And with it, you know, we got first pitch ceremonies. We honor people from the community. We got people coming in from outside. You know, and we try to do that because we want it to be a community thing. You know, it's Bowden High School, but we want it to be Bowden community. And when we go out there and we talk about Bowden, we want the realize we're playing for them. And so that, you've got to get your kids to buy into it. And today's society, that's hard to do. It's hard to do that. But you got to get them to believe in it. And the first thing you got to do is you got to let, they got to know you care. Players will never, ever care how much you know until they know how much you care. And once they know you care about them, then they'll run through a wall for you. And when they run through a wall for you, you can take an average team and make them very good very quickly. So.
Well, thank you for your time. I know me personally, with being here for about 9 months now, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of the behind-the-scenes things that you just assume you know. And I've learned that if you keep your mouth shut and you listen, make your ears a lot bigger than what your mouth will be, you'll learn a lot. But I appreciate you for your time.
Thanks, sir.